Hello and welcome to the channel. Now today we'll start off our topic by Bandile Mbele. Bandile filed a claim with the Road Accident Fund for 3 million for the accident that he was involved in back in December the 11th of 2020. Now the Road Accident Fund refuses to compensate him, saying that he did not sustain enough serious injuries for the claim. The Road Accident Fund further says that Bandile failed to complete a doctor's report that it's stipulated by the law that he needs to do so. So the report would detail the nature and the degrees of the injuries that he had sustained during the accident itself. In refusing to compensate him, Bandile decided to go to the High Court in Johannesburg to obtain judgment against the state entity itself. Now, on the letters that he submitted in court, he says that he did sustain injuries and as a result, he lost income. He says the accident happened back in 2020 in December near Bronkhorstspruit. He says that the driver was negligent and he was reckless as he smashed into his car. He was not aware, he was not alert of other drivers, and he was also speeding. He says that the driver did not apply brakes. Had he done so, this would have avoided the collision itself. He explains his injuries as he says that he sustained a fracture on his knee and an injury on his right knee ligament. He says that he is still suffering as he suffered, and that's why he is claiming for 3 million. So when breaking down this 3 million tune, he says that the 900 will be for general damages, while 500 will be for emergency medical treatment, and 2.4 million will be for the past and future loss of income. So all in all, it adds up to 3.3 million rand. Now, Bandile added that the experience was painful and he suffered a psychological trauma during the collision and after the treatment itself. And RAF replied by saying that should a third party wish to claim for non-pecuniary loss, then they need to submit the medical report assessed by medical practitioner to obtain as to how serious the injuries or the assessment was, and then only then will they be obligated to compensate the third party. So RAF says should the court rule that Bandile should be compensated, they will refuse this, saying that he did not sustain 30% or more serious injuries that would result in his impairment. So they refusing to do this. So the court then said that the RAF, it is out of their jurisdiction to rule such, so they need to compensate him. The court says if RAF refuses to do this, then they should consult with the HPCSA for further observation or examination in this matter. So yeah, RAF just refuses to pay him despite the court's ruling. So I think that they should, because of he's the one that experienced the traumas. He went through the accident. He had the financial loss due to this accident. So they should just do what they need to do and just pay the man. Now let's go to our next topic. Why isn't Ambitious Entertainment cancelled? And why are our artists still going back to these people after all the scandalous things that we have heard about them, like all the things that they do into our artists? It's just not on, yet we still find artists still going back to this record label. I just don't understand it. But nonetheless, today Ambitious is bickering with Black Diamond. Ambitious Entertainment has been removing Black Diamond's music videos from YouTube, and of course the duo was just not having it, and they went to obtain an urgent High Court interdict to stop Ambitious from doing so. So the court last week moved their urgent application from the 15th of August to the 30th of October, which means that 2 more months have to pass without their music videos being broadcasted on the platform itself. So they filed for this urgent application in Johannesburg High Court about 3 weeks ago. And the papers read like this. They say that they entered into an exclusive management agreement, publishing agreement, and artist agreement with Ambitious back in 2020, January the 10th. They say that they terminated their contract with Ambitious Records after breaching it by failing to pay them for their royalties for their gigs. They then started their own record label, Umuti, in February 2022. Afterwards, they entered into an exclusive digital agreement with Electromode in July the 1st, 2022, under which they released 3 songs titled Ilanga, Fireworks and Chroma, which they marketed on YouTube. In reaction to this, Ambitious then informed them that they had breached their contract with them and they intended on taking down the songs. Black Diamond says that back in 27th of October last year, they filed an urgent application of relief against Ambitious and YouTube, and this obviously was treated with lack of agency. The matter was only heard in court this year, March the 13th. The judge then made an order interdicting Ambitious and YouTube from removing or deleting their accounts. Ambitious was also interdicted from raising any copyright or ownership dispute against their works authored by the artist from June the 15th of 2022 or with any other digital platforms, and the platforms included YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and Deezer. The duo was very happy and excited to hear this, but the excitement was short-lived when Ambitious retaliated and served their lawyers on June the 27th. They decided to leave the matter with the lawyers and released another song and a music video on YouTube. They then say that on the 31st of July this year, they then received an email from YouTube stating that Ambitious has issued them with a takedown notice against the music videos that they had released. So of course they're saying that this will impact their livelihoods because of they make money through music. They then filed for an urgent interdict to stop Ambitious from taking down their songs, and they wanted this to be heard by the 15th of August, but the court gave them the date of the 30th of October. So Ambitious boss Khosi says that the matter is not urgent, and he says that this was self-created, blaming them for the delay. He says that the artist entered into a contract with Electromode while they were still his artists, and also says that there were other artists in the songs that they had released, so they were supposed to be among the applicants as well. He also says that they are lying when they say that they will suffer financial loss, saying that there are other streams that they are generating income from except for YouTube. Khosi further states that he understands the impact of YouTube, and should they suffer any financial loss, then they should claim from the label itself. He says that they breached the contract by signing with another record label while they were still his artists. He further says that the label spent a lot of money launching them as new artists back in 2017 with an expectation of a return in their investment.